So at what point during this conversation do you recommend a GC be brought on board for church projects? Is it early on?
That's good. Yeah, go ahead.
That is interesting. I think it might be different too. It'd be interesting what Chuck has to say for the traditional market versus contemporary, because in the contemporary church realm, essentially a lot of there's knowledge of kind of the commercial market. It seems like a lot of they have elders or groups that they're getting feedback initially of some expectations, which is helpful. But I think what we like to do, or what seems the most beneficial, is to bring them along and get the design team where it wants to be and the expectations set. And we've got the expertise and knowledge to manage the costs to get close. But I think, pretty early on, after there's been approvals, we understand square footages and programmatic impacts. It's good to bring those teams on, because at the end of the day, we're serving them, and to say that we're cost estimators is a disservice. And I think it's great to bring on that other team player that's just as invested as we are, to help manage, cost and schedule. So I would say I always kind of encourage our clients, and the earlier the better, but again, let us get started and make sure we don't deter the design process.
Yeah, I would say usually by the time we're nearing the end of schematic design, it's a great time to get a contractor on board. At that point, we know enough about the project to know whether we're selecting, or the church is selecting, the right contractor or not. So if let's say we're ending up with a highly complex building that interties with their existing campus, we want a contractor that's done that, understands it, and can help us achieve it. Or if it's a standalone building of a certain, let's say it's a tilt-up concrete building, we want a contractor that really understands that type of design. So having enough schematic design that we know what we're talking about helps to bring on the right contractor. And then that's sort of as early as we can bring them on, and they work with us through the rest of the project, which is the ideal.
Yeah. If I could add to that, I think because budgets are such a important and sensitive issue for a lot of churches, that's one of the main reasons really to get the contractor there early, because going all the way through design and then doing a hard bid puts the church at a lot of risk. And I think as a way of trying to be good stewards of their money, and their churches are all focused on being good stewards, and so likewise we try to be good stewards of their funds by making sure that we're designing something that's going to be very achievable for them.
Mm-hmm. It's a great point. I think that just the practices evolved into that. I think in numerous markets, that it's just the value's there. I mean, they're team players. They know the pre-construction game, and to not bring them on board to help guide the process and give them confidence too in what's going on. I mean, it's just kind of a no-brainer of just the initial process that we need to follow.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to add one more thing to that, Chuck. The one thing that's nice about having the 8 offices is that even though a church may be near one of us and they may be talking to you, we know the general contractor market in most regions of the Southeast. And if they don't know who to call, we can certainly give them the right names.
That's right.
That definitely helps.
That's great.
That's right.